Welcome back, guys. Now let's just take a look at this kind of example. You can also try to pause this video to do this question by yourself and see how much you will get and come back to watch the memo. So let's just do this kind of question. They say in a group of 50 people, 30 can speak Afrikaans and 40 can speak English. There are 25 of these people that can speak both languages. The first question says that draw the Venn diagram to illustrate this information. So by now, guys, I hope by now you know how to draw a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram is something like this, whereby inside we have to draw two circles. But we don't know if these kind of circles are going to intersect or not intersect. To know that, we're going to look for the word both in the statement. And if we look for the word both, we can find it here. So it means we're going to draw a circles. We're going to draw two circles that intersect. So here are the two circles that intersect actually. So for this one, for the first one, I can name it E, which is for English. This one is for Afrikaans, So where do we start filling out our information? We're going to start in the middle where they say both. So how many of those kinds of people are doing both that can be able to speak both English and Afrikaans? That is 25 of them. So we're going to start with 25 here. Why? So we cannot overcount things. So how many that can be able to speak English actually? So the one that can be able to speak English is how many? Is 40 of them, So are we going to write the 40 here? No, we're not going to write the 40. Why? It's because if we write 40 here, 40 plus 25 is going to give us what? 65. And what are the total number of people that are here? There is only 50 people, So for us not to overcount, we're not going to write the 40. What are we going to do? We're just going to say E is going to be equals to be 40, because inside this kind of circle of E, which is for English, there is already 25 people that are here, So to find the number that we're going to write here, we're going just to subtract it here with 25. And for that one, we're going to get 15, So then here we're going to write 15. So when we add this 15 and 25, we're going to get what? 40, So we're going to do the same thing for Afrikaans. How many that are doing Afrikaans? They can be able to speak Afrikaans is 30 of them. We're not going to write 30 here. We're going to say what? Afrikaans is going to be equals to 30 minus 25 for that one, which is equal to 5. So then we're going to write 5. 25 plus 5 is going to give us 30, Yes. So let's just count those kinds of people. That how many of them? So this one is 15, and this one is 25, and this one is 5. So 30, 45. So this kind of people that are here, all of them is 45. But how many people that were there? There was 50 people in total in that kind of group. So where are those kinds of people that are remaining, and how many of them? To find the kind of people, how many that are remaining, we're going to add this one, which when we add the total of this one, we're going to get the total actually of this one is going to give us 45. So to find out how many people that are left there, we're just going to say 50 minus 45. Or you can say 50 minus 15 minus 25 minus 5 is going to be still the same. And that one will give us 5. So where do we put these kinds of 5 people who does not speak either of this kind of language? We put them here outside, which is 5. So this is our Venn diagram. So let's just go and answer the second question. So the second question is letter B, which is this one. They say how many of these 50 people who cannot speak either of these languages, So these kinds of people, they cannot speak either of these kinds of language. They cannot, So this one I think is the new one for you. But it's still the same thing. This is the complement of the word neither, it's the opposite, So when you cannot speak either, if you can speak either, the opposite of it is that, in other words, they are looking for the total number. In other words, they are looking for total number of neither E or A. That's what they are looking for actually, because they say they cannot, they cannot. So here's something that I want you to understand based on what I just said previously. So when they ask for how many people who cannot speak either, it means those kinds of people, they cannot speak either Afrikaans or English or both, you know. So if they cannot speak either Afrikaans or English or both, it means those kinds of people, they speak neither of those kinds of two languages. So hence I say they are just looking for the total number of the people who speak neither of these languages. That's what I mean. There is going to be 5 people, you know, yeah, that cannot, out of those kind of 50 people, that cannot speak either of these two languages, you know. So going to letter C, which is it says that if a person is chosen from this group at random, find the probability that this person can speak at least one of the two languages. By now, you know that when they talk about at least one, we know that they want what? They want the probability of what? The probability of doing E or A. Guys, if you don't understand this kind of words, I've made a video, I'll put it in my description box. I've explained these kinds of fancy words. So this one is the same as N, E, or A divided by NS, you know. So the total number of people that are doing either maths or that can be able to speak either English or Afrikaans or both. How many of them? So which is 15 plus 25 plus 5, which is how many? Is 45, you know, divided by the total number of people that are there is how many? Is 50, which is divided by 50 here. So this one is the same as 9 out of 10. So this is your probability actually of E or A, or for at least one of these kind of languages. So this was the first one, and going to the second one. So they say if a person chosen from this group randomly, find the probability that this person can speak English but not Afrikaans. This one I hope you never heard of it, but it's very simple. When they say English but not Afrikaans, they are saying actually, in other words, what they're saying, oh, this one actually, what they're saying is in other words, is English only. It's English only, because if he can speak English, not Afrikaans, it means he can only speak English only, not Afrikaans, you know. So in other words, this is the probability of English only, you know. And to find this one is the total number of E only divided by what? Total number of sample space. Someone can make a mistake here of writing the total number of E only and writing all these kinds of stuff that is inside here. No, when you are looking for E only, or when you are looking for the only English, is the only one that does not include this 25, you know. So which here is 15 out of what? The total number of sample space is 50 people there, which is 50 in total. And this one is going to give you 3 out of 10. So that's it for this video. See you on my next video. Sharp.